adding integers with different signs. So when we add these here, we're going to add two of them, and one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. So let's try an example right over here. We're going to do 4 plus and negative 3. So if we model this real quick, I can use some colors here, and I'll use yellow for the 4. So if I had 4 dots right here that were yellow, and then I had 3 of them that were red, and these represent the negative value, which is negative 3. When I write it like this, I can actually model this equation, and then I can cancel out and solve this. So the yellow represents the positive, the red represents the negative. If these cancel each other out, these two cancel each other out, these two cancel each other out, I'm left with 1 right there. The yellow is a positive value, so I have 1 positive. So my answer is going to be 1. If I model this on a number line, I'm starting at positive 4 because that's where I was right here, positive 4. And then I'm going to add a negative to that. Now if I added a positive 3, I would move 3 spaces that direction. But I'm adding a negative 3. So I'm going to come back 3 places and stop right there at positive 1, which is going to match the answer that I got right there. Some students also like, when they do 4 plus a negative 3, they like to subtract when you have two different signs. So do 4 minus 3, which is 1, and then you keep the sign of the larger number. The larger number was a 4, it's a positive, so it would be a positive 1. The larger number was a negative, we'd put a negative there. Let's try another example over here. Let's try negative 6 this time, plus 3. So I'll model this again one more time. So my negative's in red. I'll have 6 red dots. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those represent the negatives. And then the yellows will represent my 3 positive that I have. 1, 2, 3. I can cancel these out again. The ones that match up cancel out. Those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, and I have these 3 left. It's 3. The red is negative this time. So that means that I'm going to have negative 3 as an answer. We go back to the number line. Let's see this modeled on the number line. Negative 6 is here on the number line. And I'm going to add 3 to this because I'm going to move positive. And when we move positive, we move to the right 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Gets me to stop there. And again, that matches up to my negative 3. If we do this the way where we subtract and keep the sign of the larger, then I can say 6 minus 3 is 3, but I keep the sign of the larger number. The larger number was the 6, and it has a negative sign, so I keep the negative 3, and that matches up with my answer on the number line and my answer on the modeling. One more example real quick. We'll do one with a little bit of a higher value. If you had something like negative 8 plus 14 here, if we model this out again, got my 8 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 14 for the positive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll have to come down here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These will cancel, these will cancel, these will cancel, those 2, those 2, those 2, those 2, those 2, and then I've got this left over, which I think is positive 6. If I do this the equation way, I take the larger number, which is 14. I can subtract 8 from it. So when I do 14 minus 8, I get 6. And then I need to double check and make sure. My 14 was a positive, so I'm going to leave this 6 as a positive, and that matches up to this one right over here. If I was at negative 8 on the number line, I would simply go positive 14 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 gets me at positive 6 there. So 3 ways we can do this. We can model it with the dots, we can put it on a number line, or you can subtract and keep the sign of the larger. Just make sure when you do that that you remember to keep the sign of the larger, and this is the method for how you're going to add integers with different signs.